Tony, got 25 points from the bench tonight. How important was that in this win?
Well, that was important. I was really impressed with, I didn't use Anthony in the first half, and I really was on the bench. You could hear him cheering, and then he came in ready and gave us a great lift. I thought Akil really played within himself, gave us a nice lift. Tevin, his quickness helped us. He guarded the ball. You know, that Norfolk State team is very capable. They're hard to guard. They're quick off the bounce. They exploited us in the first half. Our battle cry or our urging of them, where we said, can you try to rebound better? Can you keep them out of the lane? Because they got to the lane and they offensive rebounded, and that cost us. So we just said, look, unless you're going to spread out and keep them in front as a team and get them off the glass, you're going to be in trouble. And I thought in the second half we did a better job of that, and then those lifts of those guys was nice to see.
Coach, asked Joe Harris on Saturday if you've been patient with the turnovers for the most point, and he said you had, but it looked like maybe at the end there you're kind of tired of the turnovers.
Yeah, no, and here's the deal. How many do we have? 12. To start the way we did in the second half is unacceptable. I mean, it looked like, well, we're just kind of messing around, and that's not. Those are just not attentive turnover. I mean, that's the stuff. And then Malcolm, why I got after him at the end is, you know, he banged his free throws, he did all that, but we've had situations late in games where we've just kind of handed the ball. They almost don't make sense. And I said there's got to be some accountability for that. And that drove me crazy. I'll be honest with you, watching us flip the ball out. That stretch, I said that stretch to start the second half and a little bit of a stretch at the very end is you were enough ahead that it didn't cost you, but you're going to have to clean that up because they did a lot of good things. They really did, and they defended in the second half, and I was excited. But somehow we got to not be perfect because that's not the case, but we've got to eliminate those. And that's, you know, sometimes it just looks like we're sleepwalking out there at the stretch, and that's can't be that way. But we can clean that up, and we'll have to.
Tony, a couple times earlier, you've lost games going into Christmas. Did you bring that up at all? Like last year, you lost on the 22nd. And I think you lost to Seattle earlier. Probably left a bad taste.
Seattle. 2 years ago we lost to Seattle. 3 years. I don't remember. Okay. Scrooge, you're bringing up bah humbug, huh? Thanks for bringing up those memories for me. Yeah. So no. No, you know what? I didn't say one word about the Old Dominion game. You want to know what I said to him before the game? I said, I'm excited about this game because it's predominantly the same Norfolk State team. They're very capable. You look at who they have. I can't remember the number one he was. He didn't play. He graduated. But otherwise, they have everybody back. They have 6 or 7 seniors. I said, what a great game to get a gauge and a measuring stick. You played them last year in the NIT, and it was about a 3 or 4 point game with 3 minutes left, and then I think they turned it over and we stretched it out. Let's see how we are because it's relatively the same team. And, yeah, we're different. So I'd really challenge them with that. Let's see what you got. And, again, we were going along fine, and then all of a sudden they started getting the offensive rebounds. And they started getting to the paint on us. And then we started the second half, and then we picked it up. You know, there's an interesting stat. Someone always told me, if you look at the team rebounds, they had 7 team rebounds. That shows you're not getting balls clean. They're kind of coming through your hands. They're going out of bounds. That always shows I think we got to become a better rebounding team. And it wasn't just because we had 4 guards on the floor. Sometimes we had our bigs. But I always look at that, and that's too high of a number. But didn't mention the Old Dominion thing.
Forgotten it by Christmas Day last year?
Absolutely, yeah. I forgot it that night. Once the game's over, I never think about a game. No, I'm just kidding. That one, yeah, that certainly stuck with us. But you learn from it, and it prompted us. And now said we'll go into Christmas and enjoy it and have 3 days of practice for Tennessee.
Tony, you mentioned Gil. Why didn't you play him in the first half?
I wanted to shorten the rotation. I wanted to see how we do it. Everybody's got to be ready. I didn't play Evan in the second half, you know. And it's a moving target. I got to be honest. I wish I could say I got this thing. This is like an NBA team, and I've got at this minute mark, this guy's coming in, these 3. Nobody's disqualified themselves from being in the rotation. And, I mean, I'm not going to say nobody is absolutely locked in there, but of course there's guys we got to play, and I tried to play with 4 guards because that helped us the game before, and we started fine. We've been starting slow offensively, and I wanted to just see the rotations, and in that case, Anthony, I just wanted to see, and then we used him in the second half. So,
how did Akil react when you told him he wasn't starting? I think it's the first time since January 2012.
he reacted how I wanted. He played well. He played how he needed to play. He stayed within himself, gave us a great lift, defended, rebounded, tried to finish. We'll keep working on the free throw line, but that's what matters, how you respond.
Tony, your turnovers and your free throw misses are spread out throughout the roster. There aren't one or two main culprits. How do you address that? How do you fix that going into Tennessee?
Yeah, well, we work real hard, on ball handling sureness. We try to talk about patience. We were better from the free throw line. What was our percentage? 70. Yeah, we were a little bit better. So I'm excited that Joe was 6 of 7. So I think that was important. I really do. As I said, to get a guy to the line a few times, let him get his rhythm, you just sometimes need to do that. So that part was good. Look, Darian and Akil, those guys, that's hopefully they'll be, and that's why I put Anthony in at the end. But we keep working on valuing the ball. We work on that. We work on ball handling sureness, have our guys understand it. We'll show them the tape, and then we get a lot of free throws, and we know that those possessions are valuable. Every time we turn it over or give up, an offensive rebound or get one ourselves, those are worth points.
Tony, you've adjusted the starting lineup a number of times, and you just mentioned Evan not playing in the second half, Anthony not playing in the first. Is it frustrating that you can't find that rotation, or is that just a work in progress that?
Yeah, so how many guys did I play tonight? 10, right? I've been playing 9. And I said, well, maybe why shorten the rotation? I said, well, maybe I got to play 8. Well, I ended up playing 10 tonight, so there's your answer. It's just, I think they're all capable, and each game dictates something different. I thought we needed the quickness of Tevin to spread out and keep those guys in front, and there's different matchups that'll call for different things. There'll be size games, and we'll have to see. Everybody wants to play. We have solid kids. We do, young men. Someone sent me a letter and said, don't call them kids, call them young men. So we have solid young men, okay? They're not kids. We have solid young men. We do. And they have good character. And are they competitive? Do they want to play? Is it discouraging? Is it frustrating? Does sometimes their body language show when they're not playing or they're sitting out? Yeah, but I could hear Anthony in my ear, and I'm not saying, well, that's why I put him in the second half, but I love that. And, I just tell them, you got a responsibility to put the team above yourself, and it's okay to be frustrated. Tell your girlfriend about it, talk to your friends about it, whatever it is. But when you step between the lines for practice or the games, you got to give great effort and whatever you can do to help the team, and just keep working, because there's a big picture working. For some of these guys, so many of them are sophomores, and it's going to come and go. As I said, it's a moving target. So that's the challenge, but because of their character and they're wanting to win, there haven't been any major problems. Frustration, yeah, that's normal. I'd be lying if I didn't. I can see that sometimes and all that, but that's part of it. I think every coach deals with that, and when you have depth like this, probably a little more.
Tony, the team is 9-3 going into Christmas. Are you encouraged by the fact that there are so many things to clean up, and you've still managed to win 9 games?
Probably
does that frustrate you?
Probably what's different about this team, maybe than last year, is we've won some games not playing our best basketball, where we've had different guys struggle, and I think that's where the depth helps, where we haven't, I think there's, as I said it in the press conference, we're still searching a little bit. I think we get a little closer these last couple games, but we still can play better, and we haven't played some of our best basketball, but found ways to win some games, and then the ones we lost, against, I think, high, on the road and high caliber competition, those lapses cost us, whether it was free throws or offensive rebounds, transition, whatever it is. And so I think it's there. We just got to keep coming. We'll have to improve to compete in our league. Our league's better this year, it appears. And, so I guess somewhat encouraged, but hopeful that we'll take another step.
Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas. It's our SID's birthday today, if anybody's wondering. So.